We're rolling.
And welcome back to Working Title.
Yes.
We're all the way to episode 5 on the Working Title.
2 weeks where we only had one episode out, but that's, we're going to run into road bumps here and there on account of we are not perfect, immutable beings.
Yeah, I was pretty sick, and I'm still sick, and you were feeling under the weather as well.
Yeah, we were both fucked up. I'm surprised that we got through episode 4 without my voice taking a big stinky.
Yeah, the big stinky was a worry that we had. But this episode, we thought it'd be a good idea to talk a little bit about some music.
Yeah, music is something that we both really enjoy, and music is a big part of both of our lives, I would say.
Absolutely, yeah.
Even maybe a little bit less so now than it has been in the past, but still quite a bit now.
I mean, I've dabbled in a lot of partaking in creating music. I dabbled in a lot of instruments. I've always listened to music religiously, like a lot of different types of music that I enjoy.
Yeah, we got some varied tastes up in here.
Yeah.
We'll listen to most anything, really. My only sticklers are I don't like mumble rap, and I don't like a lot of modern country music.
Yeah, I'd say I'm relatively on the same page in that. A lot of country music, I just can't, I just can't really get into it. Some older stuff I don't mind. But I don't think I'd say I really dislike any type of music.
Yeah.
I can respect whatever is made. I mean, art is art, and some art's just not for me, and that's fine. But
yeah,
a lot of it is for me.
Yeah, man.
Anything within the alt rock, just like alternative to rock to metal, and the different variations of the three.
Yeah,
that
man.
I very much enjoy.
That's the stuff. That I think that's our bread and butter, I would say.
Absolutely.
So I'm just gonna pull up because Tidal is kind enough to have a constantly updating playlist of my most listened to music.
Indeed.
So I'm just gonna go through some of these, and we can talk about the artists on the list. Unfortunately, System of a Down. System of a Down is one of those bands I don't listen to one song of theirs a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I listen to their whole catalog quite a bit. So I feel like if we were looking at this from a standpoint of like not necessarily individual songs, but like by and large, I'd say System of a Down is probably one of my most listened to bands.
Yeah.
But this only goes by individual listens. So like number 1, Psychosocial, number 2 is Self-Esteem, and down the list. But since I mentioned Psychosocial, we'll just take a minute to talk about Slipknot, I think.
I enjoy very, very much.
Yep, me too. I think you opened up to Slipknot a bit before I did.
Yeah, I think so.
It was only with, whenever I started listening to, I think We Are Not Your Kind was the album that got me listening to Slipknot. Because Unsainted and Nero Forte are both very good songs. And I was like, you know what? Maybe there's something to this screaming fella and his friends.
I think Chapter 5, like the Gray Chapter, is probably when I started actually listening at all, like understanding what they were. But listening back from there, I really enjoy, I enjoy Self-Title a lot. And Iowa is a great album.
I would say to this day my favorite album from Slipknot is the Self-Title.
Absolutely.
It's just got...
It's banger after banger after banger.
And it's got such a raw, intense feel to it. It's the same thing for me with the System of a Down Self-Title.
Yeah, it's so...
It hits
them. It really is. It's weird. It's the one that's named after the band, and it is
their first album, their first studio album, I should say, for both bands, and it's my favorite. I feel like there's a distinction between the best and my favorite.
Probably, yeah.
Because the best is like objective.
Yeah.
But subjective is my favorite.
Like I like both of their self-titles are my favorite.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Toxicity is
those are some of the only bands
as an album. Toxicity is a great album.
And again, I would say fucking Iowa or Chapter 3 for me are both very close for Slipknot contenders.
Yeah, I'd say like Iowa is pretty well recognized as probably the best they've made, or maybe 5.
These new metal guys with their sophomore albums, bro, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Because Iowa and Toxicity, both are they're the second albums of the respective bands.
I think Toxicity would be considered the best album they made.
Like, I would say objectively, yeah.
In terms of like popularity and how many people know about it, it's probably considered the best.
And overall song quality,
and
I would say, yeah.
And I wouldn't say it's leaps and bounds in my mind above their self-title. It's just that the self-title has some songs that hit farther in my brain than the other one.
I think that it's just that I was talking about. So Miranda and I we recently saw that movie Megan, the one with the doll that's like an AI.
Okay.
And there were moments there where I was like, you know, if they really went fucking nuts with this, I think that would be a really great movie. But they have it feels like it has the potential to be a really goofy, really silly, but also at the same time intense horror movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like it's over the top, and that's what makes it enjoyable. But it stops. It stops in here and there. And it's just a few distinct places that stop me from enjoying it so much. And I was talking to Miranda about this, and she's like, well, you have to think, not everyone wants to see, you know, all this crazy shit. You know, the broad audience is not in for that. And I was like, you know, you're right. I am a niche demographic, and the shit I want to see isn't the shit that everyone wants to see. You know, Grandpa doesn't want to see, you know, a woman getting murdered by a high intensity weed sprayer and having her face melt off. You know,
yeah.
He just wants to see that he wants the death to happen off screen.
Yeah, just want to know that she died.
Yeah,
but that doesn't hit the spook meter for
it. It doesn't hit the or the goof meter because I feel like whenever that is how she kills someone in the movie. There is a woman who has a dog. So the plot of the movie is we're talking about Megan now, but that's okay.
It's okay. The
plot of the movie is there is this lady who works at like a toy factory or toy manufacturing company. And she's trying to make like the next big thing.
Yeah. And
she makes this adaptive AI doll that she calls Megan. And she has also recently fallen, or her niece has recently been orphaned and fallen to her care. So her niece and Megan form like a bond. Mm-hmm. And it's like the crux of her selling Megan as a product.
Alright, yeah.
And so Megan's like primary objective is to protect the girl, like her physically and emotionally. So there is a part where like the neighbor lady has a dog that constantly goes into their yard, and there's a part where it bites the little girl, the niece. Mm-hmm. And so Megan kills the dog, and then the neighbor comes looking for the dog, and Megan kills the neighbor. And the way that she does it is she uses this like pesticide sprayer that the neighbor was using earlier in the film. And it's like a high intensity, high pressure thing. And it's just like sprays chemicals all over her. And I just kept thinking how hilarious it would be if it just like showed her like face melting and shit. And she had like a bunch of like fake skin, and like her like eyeballs were like falling out of their sockets and stuff.
Screaming.
Like, ah! Just how crazy that would be.
Yeah, crazy goof and also a little spook.
Yeah, exactly. But not everyone is into that.
Yeah,
that's a little bit too much for some people.
Yeah, the broad audience would not be comfortable.
And I was like, oh, I realized, oh fuck, I'm a weirdo, aren't I?
Yeah, but
that factors in to why I like the self-titles more. Is because it's got more of that raw craziness than it has the sort of broad, general, refined taste.
Yeah, it's very them. It's very authentic to how the band is and how the members feel.
Again, that's not to say that the later albums from these guys aren't any less authentic.
But it's original ideas.
Yeah, it's just raw creativity. They haven't found success. Yeah, they want success so badly. And so they're just putting everything they can into these first albums. And my God, does it pay off, at least for System of a Down and Slipknot. Those are like, oh, man, those are just great.
Those are some great bands. Great bands and some great songs. Great
I'm trying to think what other band comes out the gate swinging for their first album for me. Black Sabbath has a pretty solid first album, but again, I wouldn't say it's one of those things where it's like it's just banger after banger after banger. There's a couple bangers in there. Gorillaz.
Gorillaz have a great.
Because Clint Eastwood is on there. Tomorrow Comes Today. A handful of their other popular songs. Rock the House.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's another solid first album. Nirvana has a pretty good first album.
Yeah.
It's called Bleach, right?
Yes, I believe that is the.
Because my main familiarity with Nirvana, oh, he's so mainstream. He only likes Nevermind and In Utero. Well, it's like...
those are both good.
Those are both great albums.
Those are both fine.
It's, That's where it's called Bleach. Bleach is pretty solid. But again, they really flew off the chain with Nevermind.
Yeah.
Nevermind is crazy.
But Bleach has like School and Scoff, which are good, Negative Creep, and About a Girl, whatever.
I like Love Buzz.
Those Love Buzz. Those are all very, very good songs. I mean,
would you believe me when I told you you are the queen of my heart?
Those are some great
great
songs. Yeah, I mean, they definitely set a tone for what the band was going to become.
Yeah, and then Nevermind is just them building on it.
Yeah, it's just them.
And then everyone was like, "Hey, these Nirvana guys, they might be going somewhere." Nevermind. Yeah, it's just literally the whole album is just bangers.
Yeah, that is bangers. It's a really good album.
It's the only one I don't know off the top of my head is Endless Nameless. I know every other song by heart, and I could sing them.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so good. Lounge Act is still one of my favorites from them.
Yes.
On a Plane. I haven't listened to a lot of Nirvana lately, but just looking at these songs makes me want to listen to them.
Hey man, Weezer's debut album?
Oh yeah, the Blue Album!
Yeah,
Not to sleep on that!
Yeah,
holy
dude.
shit. Dude, Jonas?
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly.
Sweater Song,
and of course Say It Ain't So. How are we going to fucking forget about that?
That's a very, very successful first album with a lot of great songs on it.
I can't believe I fucking forgot about that.
That is incredible.
Because I think it's because it doesn't feel like a first album for them.
It doesn't.
It feels like a second, It feels early, but not that early. I think I was surprised the first time I heard the Blue Album was their first, because then it's Pinkerton, right? After that,
I believe so.
let me look up Weezer's discography real quick.
You know what a strange debut album?
What?
Pink Floyd, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Weird album.
I don't think I've listened to that one.
Strange album.
Title says Weezer has too many albums.
Hey.
They're trying to say, what? Where's the Blue Album?
Pearl Jam's first album
It's all fucked up on Tidal.
had Jeremy on it.
Oh.
Solid album.
Hold on. Isn't that the same album that has Even Flow?
I do believe that is on the same album.
I don't listen to a lot of Pearl Jam. Even Flow is one of the few exceptions.
Even Flow's a good song.
I listen to Even Flow, Do the Evolution.
Yeah.
I listen to Sirius XM Lithium on my way to work. So I feel like I've kind of been suckered into liking Pearl Jam more than I used to.
What about NWA, dude? Straight Outta Compton?
Oh yeah, holy shit.
It's a good one.
This is some great releases.
You had Gangsta Gangsta on it and Express Yourself. And Bitch is a Bitch, IZ.
Yeah. Weezer's
bro.
first album is the Blue Album, and then
Yeah.
Pinkerton comes out 2 years later. That's wild.
Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, yes!
Incredible.
Yes! That's another one! That was another one that has a fucking incredible first album.
I'm kind of looking through. The Rolling Stone has a thing about, like, debut albums and stuff. So I'm looking through just to see what ones I kind of forgot about.
That's another one of those that feels like it's not a first album. It feels like they already fucking landed it.
Yeah.
God, that first album is great. You got bangers, bro. Wake Up. You got Killing in the Name. Is that not in my stuff? I need to add that to my stuff. Holy shit. Rage Against the Machine. That's another band that, for me, is timeless.
Rage Against the Machine doesn't have any songs that I don't, at least relatively, enjoy listening to if it comes on.
Oh yeah,
I've very rarely heard a song.
I'm gonna go through the track list. Again, like, more than half of this album is bangers. We've got Bomb Track, Killing in the Name, Take the Power Back, Bullet in the Head, Know Your Enemy, Wake Up. Those are all from...
I could sing all those songs.
Those are so heart. Good. That's so great.
I know you're not a rap guy, but Nas' Illmatic came out, which was a really, really good one.
92! 92 is Rage Against the Machine's first album.
Nas' first album was 2 years later than that. 2 years after that came out.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
What about Kanye West, dude? College dropout.
When did... Bleach came out in 91, right?
Yeah.
That's wild to think about!
That's a weird timeline.
Because what? Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction was around that same time, I want to say.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
No. It's understandable. That's crazy to think that just, like, so soon after they were competing. 87 was Appetite for Destruction. Is that their first?
I'm not sure.
Let me look it up. Let me look up the discography for Guns N' Roses. Because if that is their first album, that's another fucking one coming out at the gate.
I'm not a huge...
It is Appetite for Destruction.
I'm not a huge Guns N' Roses
but,
guy.
like, most of the ones that you could hear, like, fucking Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
Fucking Night Train.
That's actually number 8 on this list.
Oh!
Billie Eilish is number 7. When we all fall asleep, where do we go in her 2019 album?
I feel like like Nirvana, another band that has, you know, a pretty solid couple albums and then really takes off is Green Day. Yeah, Green Day, they have like 2 albums, I think, right before Dookie, and then Dookie is like, BAM!
Yeah, the 2 before that are almost, you almost
Dookie is 100% bangers.
Absolutely. You know, it's weird to see. Billie Eilish is right in between Guns N' Roses and Jimi Hendrix for their first for the success of the first albums.
What's Jimi Hendrix's first album?
Are You Experienced? The Jimi
Hendrix Smell the Purple Haze!
Yeah, 1967.
Damn, that's wild.
Wu-Tang's number 4.
All these dudes coming out the gate with fucking bangers.
Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die.
Wow!
That was 1994.
What's number 1? Is that number 2?
But Big Papa was on that was the album that I'm referring to. Number 1's the Ramones.
Oh my god, yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
Again,
very solid.
The Ramones is not a band I am as familiar with as maybe I should be, but I like the Ramones.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they're definitely pioneers.
Alright, so let me tell you the 2 albums that take place before. Holy shit, one of them has 23 tracks. So Green Day, their first album was 1039/Soothed Out Happy Hours. And there is 23 tracks on this album. Oh, a handful of them 3 of them are live, and one of them is an interview. And then after that you have Kerplunk, and then it's Dookie. And then it's just like fucking bangers. It's Insomniac, Nimrod, Warning, American Idiot. What a streak. Yeah. What a streak. Another band that came out swinging, Metallica. Kill 'Em All. Kill 'Em All is a thrash fucking epic. If you haven't listened to, if you're a fan of like fast, heavy music, listen to Kill 'Em All. I mean, I can't imagine that you haven't yet. Metallica is like one of the biggest bands ever.
I'm kind of confused because I'm seeing some debate as to a couple of these being the first album. Yeah, they're debut albums. This has a different out for Arctic Monkeys than like it's saying one thing and then Google's saying another.
Oh,
which is kind of strange.
What is it saying, Arctic Monkeys? Because I'm pretty sure it's the one with the dude smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, that's what it's saying on Rolling Stones. But Google's saying Beneath the Boardwalk.
Oh, that's not a studio album. That's one that they recorded themselves. And the story behind that is Beneath the Boardwalk. It's just called that because that's where people would trade the tapes.
Oh.
Back on fucking little whenever you had tape players.
Okay.
Because it's like how Doom got around. People would just copy the they would copy each other's things, and then that's how it spread. Because Arctic Monkeys was just like a club band for a while. And then after everyone started fucking...
Yeah, before that, it's all live stuff.
DIY mass-producing their tapes.
But whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not.
Yes.
Is their
that is their first studio album.
And it is solid.
It's pretty good, yeah.
I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor is a good song.
I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor is one of my favorites from them.
It's pretty good. Good song. I like them.
Metallica, Kill 'Em All. That's another one. It's fucking out the gate, crazy good. Seek and Destroy, The Four Horsemen, Whiplash, bangers.
Bangers. Absolute bangers.
And then Metallica is another band that was just on a fucking roll for the next few albums. You know, it goes Kill 'Em All, and then I think Ride the Lightning, then Master of Puppets, then Injustice for All, and then the Black Album. And that is a 5-album killing fucking streak.
That is a run for sure.
What's that? That's about 10 years almost. That's 8 years. 5 albums in 8 years. All fucking gold.
Oh, yeah.
Wild. Led Zeppelin, too. Led Zeppelin. Not to sleep on them. Ned Zeppelin.
Ned Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. But again, I wouldn't say Led Zeppelin. Any of their albums are necessarily, like, bad. You know, none of their albums I've listened to and thought, I don't like this.
What's Tool's first album?
I think it's Undertow.
So when I look at here, there's like...
It's like a few
bunch
numbers.
Of EPs before that.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Sober
Opiate.
Tales from... And there's Salival, 72826, then Opiate.
I think 72826 is the first, but again, that's one that they made and sold to people.
The Undertow.
I think Undertow, it's either Undertow or, I don't know, I think Opiate was an EP.
Yeah, it was.
So Undertow, I think, would be their first full studio album.
It's a good one.
It is pretty good. I wouldn't, but with Tool, it's like the opposite thing as with the other ones. I like Undertow, but the Anima and fucking, what's the one after that? Lateralis, those are just, God, that's just some great music.
Why is 10,000 Days called 10,000 Days?
Because that's how long Maynard's mom was in the hospital. That's how long she was catatonic.
10,000 days?
That's about, I think it's 30 years.
Why was she catatonic?
She had a stroke.
Why didn't... 30 years?
Yeah, she wasn't like catatonic. She was just like paralyzed. And
God, if I'm paralyzed, do not keep me around for 30 years. Oh my God, put me down immediately.
Yeah, so
I guess it's up to them, but
the songs "Wings for Marie" and "10,000 Days" are both tributes directly to Maynard's mom.
I'm sure she was a lovely woman, as he is a lovely man.
Yes,
and this is a lovely album.
Yes, it is. Even disregarding the tracks that are about her specifically, that's still a great album. And
most of those songs are really good.
I still, for some reason in my brain, 10,000 Days is still bookmarked as the last Tool album, just because whenever I started to become a fan of Tool, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, because they
were in an extended legal battle, and then I think it was just lack of motivation after that for a long time.
Yeah.
Until Fear Inoculum came out.
Which wasn't a bad album.
No.
There were some pretty solid songs.
I'm pretty sure.
And that concert was great.
Yes, that concert was solid. A great concert. It was the first concert I'd ever been to. For a real band and not just like a local one.
Yeah.
That was fucking great. I loved it.
I think that same year, I think a couple days prior to that, or maybe a couple days after that. I think it was a couple days after that I went to the Hobo Johnson concert.
It was really close by.
That was a lot of fun. He's in it, dude. He fell apart.
He fell
apart. There was like a pretty solid album, then a pretty good album, and then
dog shit.
And then I was like, okay, pretty good. There's like a bunch. Well, I guess I said it wrong. There's like okay singles, then a really good album, another pretty solid album, The Rise and the Fall of Hobo Johnson, and then the ones after that are just so bad that no one listened to any of it.
Oh.
And no one's still listening.
We hate to see it. That's fucking Green Day fell off hard too.
It's
after American Idiot, it's just like, yeah. It's like it sucks so bad too because I feel like there's a case to make that American Idiot might be their best album. For me, it's definitely up there.
I think Dookie's better than American Idiot.
I think it's close. I think they almost do like entirely different things, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, but I like Dookie a little bit more.
They're 10 years apart, and it's crazy how in that time that band's sound changed so much.
Yeah, they became way more poppy than grungy towards the end of their... I guess it was like a punk kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
It was kind of grungy in a way, the way that they used their distortion and such, but...
But I really like...
went from punk to a real pop rock kind of thing.
Yeah, and now it's
they went Puddle of Mud direction for a little while.
And now they just keep trying to recapture the magic that was American Idiot, and it's just like, please stop,
please.
I can only have so much of this.
You guys have to stop, for the love of God. Stop.
But yeah, Led Zeppelin is another one that came out swinging. 1969, Led Zeppelin 1, Dazed and Confused, Communication Breakdown.
Absolutely.
That
is a solid album.
Yep. Good Times, Bad Times.
What about the Beatles?
The Beatles? What's their first album?
You
look up the Beatles, I look up the Stones.
The Beatles' first album was probably made in the 1300s. They're old as shit, dude. Albums, they're ancient. I believe that their first one... I'm really struggling to...
I actually don't know the first album, anything from the first album of the Stones. It came out in 1964. And then, but it looks like, I think their second album was Aftermath.
Yeah. Through the Beatles stuff, and it just
it looks like it goes The Rolling Stones, and then Out of Our Heads, and then Aftermath. And then right after, for me, Aftermath is where you start grabbing my attention.
I guess Please Please Me is the first Beatles album. And Please Please Me. I don't know if they're saying Please Please Me, like as if they're begging for it to be them.
Oh!
Or if they're saying to
please me.
To please them.
Yeah.
Please. And, Please Please Me, I'm pretty sure, has songs that I know of. I don't think it does, though. Please Please Me, A Taste of Honey.
No, I didn't want to look up the Who. I wanted to look up the White Stripes.
The Beatles. The Beatles.
The Beatles. Beatle.
I mean, Abbey Road. Was not the first, but that's an album.
Yeah, that's really good.
Maxwell's Silver Hammer is a good song. And I Want You is a long song.
The White Stripes, their first album is pretty good. They have a handful of really good songs on there.
I like them a lot.
But Be Still, their second album, is like one of my favorite albums ever. Because they got You're Pretty Good Looking for a Girl, Hello Operator, Little Bird, Apple Blossom, Bound to Pack It Up, Death Letter. Those are all great.
Those are.
And then, of course, their third album was White Blood Cells. And that's another fucking great one.
It is.
The White Stripes was one of those bands that, for me, even though they had a short run, they had a hell of a run.
Yeah.
They weren't around for 10 years even. The White Stripes were only making albums for 8.
Someone's dying outside. This is the end of...
I hope he's not vomiting. Because he's doing so in the hallway.
I think he was just coughing.
He's just had a bit of a coughing fit out in the hallway.
I think he might have been dying, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever.
I think White Blood Cells I really, really enjoyed most of. Like, fell in love with the girl, obviously. Little Room.
Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground. That's like one of my favorites.
We're Going to Be Friends I enjoy.
But I think
it's a very nice little song.
This Protector and Aluminum are the only ones off the top of my head that I like. Or The Union Forever, that one too. But the rest of them are fucking great. And then of course you have fucking Elephant, which is the vehicle with which Seven Nation Army was slung out into the world. And you got another great album.
Yeah.
You got Black Math. I just don't know what to do with myself. And The Cold Cold Night. I like In the Cold Cold Night a lot. It's one of the few songs where Meg sings. Meg White, one of the 2 members of the White Stripes.
Megan!
So I just keep thinking of the Super Mega bit.
What bit?
Tug me, brother.
Tug me, brother?
We were thinking about, in the early stages of the podcast, we were thinking about actually calling it Brotherly Tug.
Yeah. And it's like us on a tugboat. we're the brotherly tug.
Ooh.
But the only thing is that we felt as though that would just be a little too strange.
Yeah.
And we actually decided on being as unoriginal as possible, and then we name it Working Title.
But Working Title wasn't even, it has just become the name.
It's not even it was never supposed to be the name.
God.
Korn has some great...
That's right.
Korn has some great music.
Korn is pretty great.
Korn is great.
Korn. What's their first album?
Korn.
I'm not as caught up with Korn as I am.
Well, I was answering
Korn's
the question.
first album was Korn.
Yeah, I was answering... When I said Korn, I was answering your question.
Oh, that's another good one.
Yeah. Clown's a great song. There's one I can't say because it's a slur. And Shoots and Ladders.
It's spelled silly,
really
though,
sad.
so it's okay.
But
Phaged. Phaged.
Fudgade.
Fudgade.
But then...
You got Life is Peachy, and then Follow the Leader,
I
don't think
I'm up on... I mean,
I'm not
is
super
good.
up.
Adidas is good.
I like Twist.
And then Follow the Leader.
Follow the Leader, yeah.
Got the Life and...
Follow the Leader, and then Issues. Those are the ones
Seed.
that I super know. Those are back-to-back. Holy shit.
Yeah.
98, 99.
That was during the biggest, upswing of them.
That's wild.
Great. Falling away from me, great. Then we go to See You on the Other
Falling
Side.
away from me.
Coming Undone's really good, and that's on See You on the Other Side. It's a bit later.
I really like the song Here to Stay. I think that's from Untouchables.
I believe so. Go to Requiem, dude. The new one. I haven't listened to all of it.
Yes,
I can't lie.
it's the first album in Untouchables. I haven't listened to all of Korn's albums either.
I just haven't... as much as I like Korn, I just never find myself listening to all of it.
I have listened to... I'll tell you the ones that I know songs from. Untitled. I know from See You on the Other Side. I know from Untouchables, Issues, Follow the Leader. Some from Life is Peachy, and the self-title.
What about Usher?
Usher?
Yeah.
The Man?
Usher.
No.
Or Soulja Boy. What's your favorite Soulja Boy song?
What's your favorite Pitbull song?
That's dirty, man. You can't do that.
Mr. Worldwide.
I hate Pitbull.
Bilingual singer.
I hate
his two.
Pitbull.
I'll tell you, Pitbull's languages are English and nonsense.
Yeah. His Spanish and English are both nonsense, so it's all nonsense.
Pitbull is just a fucking god.
I think there's a certain point in music in which I think we branch out. But I don't know where yours would be. I don't know what songs... I know there's bands I'm interested in that you're not interested in.
I'm
not sure of bands that you're interested in that I'm not interested in.
Yeah, that's a good point. We have a lot of overlap. I mean, one band is kind of the Smashing Pumpkins. You're not a huge fan of Billy Corgan.
It's not that I don't appreciate Smashing Pumpkins and what they've done and their music. His voice is funny, and I can't help it. It's not my fault that his voice is funny.
Let me see. A lot of these ones that I don't think you would know are just like one-offs in my playlist.
Yeah, I mean...
yeah, we have so much overlap, it's actually insane.
I think the only places that it branches off is...
Because we both...
Things like... A lot of rap that I enjoy. I guess even then, I mean... We both like Kung Fu Kenny, dude. We both like Kendrick Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like one of my favorites. Aside, I guess...
Like
I have a song by Ludacris on here. And I think... even Cage the Elephant, I'm looking through my songs, and Cage the Elephant's one that we both enjoy.
Yeah, I keep looking, it's just like Green Day, Metallica, Blue Oyster Cult, The Stones, Slipknot. It's just like, this is just Gorillaz.
But I can see the poppy place in which we separate from where I stand. And it's mostly in the 21 Pilots area that we do separate. And that I have a lot of 21 Pilots. I have a 21 Pilots tattoo.
Yeah, 21 Pilots is one of the few bands that we don't overlap on.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy and relate very much. I have all of their music on this playlist. And their debut album, that you're not familiar with, I enjoy very much, even though the band is completely differently composed.
Which one is that?
It's just titled 21 Pilots.
Oh.
And, but you know how it's Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn? That's the band.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it was just Tyler and his like church group, and Josh didn't exist yet. But then Vessel, their next album, came out, and I guess Pierce the Veil, I like, and I don't believe that you like. That's another divide that we have. And then I don't mind embracing my 2000s to 2010s emo side of it.
Yeah, no, I've been looping back in. I've been listening to more Linkin Park lately than maybe I should.
There's some stuff that is enjoyable there.
More My Chemical Romance, especially from the Welcome to the Black Parade sort of segment.
It's that MCR and Pierce the Veil and Green Day.
Another cog in the murder machine!
But those three kind of put me together there. And as much as I want to listen to Panic at the Disco sometimes, he said some really choice things that are kind of messed up. Yeah.
I was unaware of this.
I can't even say it.
Like, don't say, like, what was it geared to? Like, who was he attacking?
The trans community, I think.
Oh, no!
And I think he, don't quote me on it, I think he might have said some racially charged things as well.
Oh, no.
I think it was in the 2010s comedy
Brandon Urie?
Yeah, I think it was in the 2010s comedy kind of way, but it doesn't hold well, and it's kind of messed up. Granted, Filthy Frank, but we're not going to go there.
I think another slight diverging point for us is Rob Zombie.
Yeah, I mean, as you say that, I do have...
Fan. I just saw Living Dead Girl
on my playlist. I do.
Yeah,
I like Rob Zombie.
I think it's just the dedication to Rob Zombie. I listen to Rob Zombie more than I think you do.
Absolutely. I mean, I like White Zombie and I like Rob Zombie. I just don't listen to them as much as you do.
As much as we give shit to Dave Mustaine in public or in private, Megadeth is one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, I don't listen to it a ton. I don't dislike it, but it's not quite my thing. I guess like Grandson I enjoy a lot. Fall Out Boy I like earlier stuff, not all of their newer
Fall
stuff.
Out Boy is another one I like to dabble with. I grew up with a lot of Fall Out Boy on the radio and stuff.
There's a lot. I mean, I enjoy a good amount of it. There's some of it that's not quite for me, but a lot of it is.
Yeah.
And Pierce the Veil is one that I came around to a lot later than the rest of those. The rest of those bands, like 3 Days Grace and Green Day, were my thing.
I can't even listen to 3 Days Grace anymore.
I don't either. I don't listen to them ever.
We listen to them way too much.
But those two bands were, a lot of our thing. And a friend of mine recently, because we were talking about music, and this is actually, it wasn't that recently, it was a little while ago, and we were talking about music, and I kind of brought up how, like, a lot of early Fall Out Boy I enjoyed, and 3 Days Grace and Green Day, that came around to, like, what about Pierce the Veil? Because I like My Chemical Romance, and they're kind of in the same era. Like, people that liked one in that era usually liked the other. Like, they're all kind of there. Like, kind of with Falling in Reverse, which I was never huge on, but
I'm not a vampire.
I don't hate.
I think it's goofy.
It's a little funny. I don't hate it.
I wouldn't say I hate it.
It's in a similar vein.
I poke fun at it, but I don't despise.
It's not one of those things where it's like,
the band.
It's nothing that's so like bad that I hate it.
Yeah, it's not coming from hatred. It's coming from like.
It's coming from I'm
gonna give you a little bit of shit.
It's coming from I've heard that and I've listened to it before.
I once had an appreciation of this.
I came around to Pierce the Veil kind of late, and I really enjoy it. And
I have one Disturbed song. You want to guess what it is? It's Done with the Sickness.
Done with the Sickness? That's actually not the one I was going to guess.
What are you going to guess?
There is one that... Why can't I not remember the name of it?
I despise their version of The Sound of Silence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too.
Isaac really likes it, and it's like, nah, dude, Simon and Garfunkel did it so much fucking better.
Absolutely.
Okay, because Whenever you make it like an angsty, rocky sound, it's too much.
The only thing I have from Disturbed is Stricken.
Stricken? Oh, yeah, that one's pretty good.
It's a good song. I like it.
I have one song from Incubus.
I have Jar of Hearts by Christina Perri and my... right above Runaway
Tearing Love Apart.
Right above Runaway by Aurora. You know that song?
I'm trying to think.
I was running far away, but I run off the world someday.
Oh, okay.
She is delightful. I don't know what it is about Aurora that just makes me happy, but she does. And then right under that is just Cage the Elephant.
But yeah, for the most part, like we both have a lot of shared interest.
Yeah, I mean I have some Mac DeMarco.
Even like Mac DeMarco, like Mac Tame DeMarco. Impala,
absolutely.
The like internet silly boy, sad sort of aesthetic era bands. What
about Baby Keem? Do you have Baby Keem? The only reason I have that song is because it's with Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
but it's by that's Future. That's I don't listen to Future.
What a wackadoo!
Frick, dude, I'm dying.
Let me see.
Johnny Cash.
I got Beastie Boys.
I do love Beastie Boys.
Oh yes,
the
Beastie Boys they're not great, but my God,
there's a soft spot.
Do I really like their music?
A soft spot in my skull for them.
Yeah, me too.
Right at the top of my
Brass
head.
Monkey was one of the first songs I can remember having heard as a child.
Ass Monkey, that fucking monkey.
Yeah, fucking monkey.
Ass Monkey.
I can't believe they made a whole song about. Never mind. Shit. Yeah, so we got CCR in the piece. Creedence Clearwater Revival. That's one of my favorites. I'll tell you, I'll take Creedence Clearwater Revival any day over Leonard Skinner. Leonard Skinner is great, but I think that just CCR is just a little bit better. That's just my opinion. Don't come swinging.
I'm coming.
I'm coming.
You
have a charger I could use? My phone's at 5%.
What kind of phone do you have?
It's just like
Seaport?
Yeah.
No.
Shit.
I have an iPhone. I don't have it.
Damn.
You stupid son of a bitch.
Stupid whore.
Or like I don't know how, but they found me. I have some songs by them. I think somehow relating to Panic at the... I'm not very into the...
I'm pretty sure that they are Panic at the Disco without Brendan Urie.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Brendan.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm like 98%.
And I guess we haven't mentioned the Foo Fighters, even though Dave Grohl's up on the...
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Foo Fighters is a band that we both very much enjoy.
I'm entirely heartbroken. And I still can't listen to them.
The loss of Taylor Hawkins.
I still can't listen to them. It makes me really sad.
I was listening to Everlong earlier, and I was like...
It makes me extra sad.
Wonderful song.
Because I love Taylor Hawkins so much.
Taylor Hawkins is the girlfriend in that music video.
Yeah, he's such a lovely guy, and he was a really good drummer. He's the guy that Dave Grohl chose to be his drummer, and that means a lot.
Yeah, and, from one drummer to another.
You ever listen to Penelope Scott?
Miranda likes Penelope Scott a lot. She's cool. I like, I think it's called Rats. Or Rat, maybe?
Rat, yeah.
I like that song.
I dabble in a little Mac Miller.
I like Destroy Boys.
I like Destroy Boys, absolutely.
Because they have like a crazy punk sound, and it's great.
Piedmont. I don't know how to read the name of the song, but it's really good.
I like Honey, I'm Home.
I have
and Crybaby is really great.
Uh-huh.
God.
I have Whatever by Our Lady Peace. That's Chris Benoit's theme song.
We'll talk about Chris Benoit, I'm sure, whenever we eventually get around to the topic of wrestling, which is undoubtedly going to happen.
And I'm sure that it'll probably come in an episode where I mention fighting and we talk about Brock Lesnar, and then we talk about wrestling while Gavin sits in the corner and says nothing for a little bit. I have some Blink-182.
Blink-182.
Some Wunderbar.
Oh, God.
Dude, that was fucking gross.
Foul. I really hope that didn't pick up.
I have Herb Alpert.
Herb?
He made the do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, okay.
That played as my car broke down on the way back from the Legends the one time. That was great. I have The Killers. They have some songs I enjoy.
The Killers? Oh, yes! Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but... Tiny Tim.
Oh!
Yeah, Tiny Tim. Pop Tropica Sluts.
What?
My Trey really likes them.
Pop Tropica Sluts?
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
I like them. They're real hyper punk, hyper pop, hyper punk. Something.
Verify your email address.
Don't.
Hello? Hello?
Recording. What do you want?
What? No.
I have some Paramore on here.
Paramore's alright.
And McCafferty.
McCafferty?
Yeah, they're a band.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know them.
You know Paramore. You ever seen the lead singer?
I think I've seen the lead singer before.
Twerking.
Not twerking.
Yeah, she clapped him live.
Interesting.
Not bad.
I wouldn't imagine.
Not bad. Haley Williams is something else, man. And I have some Pixies on here.
The Pixies are good.
Pixies are good. They have some good stuff.
When your feet are in the air and your head off the ground. Yeah.
I have some Hawthorne Heights.
Where is my mind?
And some Muse.
Where? Muse is great.
Muse
Muse is
good.
one of my favorites, I think. I only have a handful of their songs, but like the few I do, I really dig.
I have some songs by The Neighborhood, but that was more for my strictly 21 Pilots time.
All I am is a man.
It's a good song.
I take a stink in
the
my
sand.
hand. He's like a cat.
Yeah, in the sand, yeah.
I fucked a girl with my hand.
I have the Ink Spots.
The Ink Spots.
I don't want to set the world on fire. Mother.
Shit.
I don't.
Mother is pretty cool.
I love Mother. I have a bunch of Mother.
It's the Batum. Yeah.
I have some Stone Sour.
Stone Sour is pretty cool too.
They fit right into my Slipknot. It's a Mushroom Head.
Mushroom Head.
And then I have my Fall Out Boy and my 21 Pilots. And some Bring Me the Horizon. I like Bring Me the Horizon.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili. How have we not mentioned Red Hot Chili Peppers?
How have we not? That's a good question. What is their first album?
Flea.
Flea?
It's just Flea.
Flea! It's telling you to run away. It's Flea with an A.
Some Wilbur Soot. He's really cute.
It's called the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It came out in 84. You want to know what else came out that year?
What?
The Transformers cartoon. That's how old the Red Hot Chili Peppers are. That's wild.
Wow. That's insane.
Freaky Styley is their second album.
They're strange. They're very strange.
And then Mother's Milk is where you start to get more popular.
I need Mother's Milk.
And then of course you got Blood Sugar Sex Magic. That's the one for them.
Blood Sugar Milk.
Milk Magic.
Blood Sugar Mom
One
Magic.
Hot Minute's pretty cool. One Hot Minute is the one where they have Dave Navarro as the guitarist.
David.
And then right after that's Californication. And everyone knows that.
Californication.
Californication, I think, is the one that really blew him up.
Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Don't that sound really good?
Guys, I think about being a solo artist.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I'm starting my band now.
My band, Big Stinky and the Poop Monglers.
Big Stinky and the Poopman.
The Poopman.
I have some Israel.
Oh, we haven't talked. How have we not talked about Primus?
Primus is an interesting band.
But how have we not talked about Primus?
With an interesting
That's
fella at the
insane.
helm.
That's insane.
You ever heard of Richard Cheese?
Richard G's?
Richard Cheese.
Cheese. No.
He makes jazz versions of songs like Insane in the Brain and Down with the Sickness.
That sounds fun.
Get it? Richard Cheese. Big Cheese.
Oh!
It's the yeah, he's really funny.
No!
You know, like Neon Trees. They made Everybody Talks.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
What is?
I have the Fratellis.
I think. What the fuck? Russian.
That's them.
Primus. It looks like their first album was Frizzle Fry, which I think that one has John the Fisherman on it.
Yeah, it does.
What a banger. It looks like that. Suck on This is their first album. They're another band that came to be in 1984.
Old.
Les Claypool is a fucking madman.
He's a strange feller, indeed.
And let me tell you, boy, does he play music.
Let me tell you, the big
man.
Oh, Aurora.
And they changed it to lemon.
That
was the shit.
Oh my god. That was the best drug ever made.
You think you had an orgasm? No, he says, you had an orgasm, you think you died and went to heaven.
Having sex on a Quaalude, you think you died and went to heaven. And when you had an orgasm, you felt like you were on the fucking moon.
The fucking moon!
Have you seen that Sierra Mist is now starry?
Yes,
I'm gonna blow my brains
dumb name.
out. I'm gonna kill somebody.
Let's talk about...
This is a threat.
Well, we'll talk about Primus for a second, because we are both fans of Primus.
Primus.
And let me tell you something about Primus. If you've not listened to Primus before, give them a go. Because let me tell you, they sound like literally nothing, no other band. I've listened to a lot of music in my day. A lot.
I've never heard something that said, man, this sounds like Primus.
Yes. I've never heard a single band that sounds even close. Like,
not at all, no.
They are so unique, and they're like weird country funk metal.
Yeah, it's
weird.
Beyond strange.
But it's
very,
incredible.
Very enjoyable. I love it so much.
One of my biggest sticking points first listening to Primus was Les Claypool. His lyrics, or his, not necessarily his lyrics,
just being
his
a funky
vocals.
Man.
Yeah, he's just a funky, silly weirdo. And let me tell you, it takes a second to warm up to it, but if you can warm up to it, my God, you can run, bro.
The way he plays bass really changed the way that I look at music.
Have a good day.
The strange way that he plays it, it's not normal.
He plays the bass like no one I have ever heard. No one I've ever seen. It's honestly, it's insane.
It completely changed the way that I treated music. Like, playing it and listening to it, it just changed it completely to me.
And you wanna talk about another band that came out swinging? Their sophomore album is Sailing the Seas of Cheese.
Oh my God, that is?
Yes, that's their second album.
That's a...
1 year after Frizzle Fry.
That's a great
whack
right there, dude.
Whack. We'll talk about Sailing the Seas of Cheese here.
Other guy's my name. Jerry,
I say unto thee. Jerry was a race car driver. Tommy the Cat. Those are both great. That's it.
That's it. That's all.
That's all. But
Granddad's little ditty. I've never heard it. I want to hear it.
Those damn blue collar tweakers. That one's pretty good. I remember hearing that one before. But oh boy. All lyrics are written by Les Claypool.
Nah, homie. I want to see Les Claypool and Flea make a band where they just play bass and make noises.
Turning off from Primus, since we were on the subject of Les Claypool, he has a band with John Lennon's son called the Lennon Claypool Delirium, where they make Sean Lennon, and they make psychedelic rock.
And I like it.
It's so good.
It is good.
They shouldn't be as good as they are.
It's kind of weird to think
they're called the Claypool Lennon Delirium, and they are insanely good.
The idea of the lead singer and bassist of Primus and the son of one of the singers of the Beatles having a band again.
There's an interview where Les Claypool is on, and he talks about how Yoko Ono invited him over for a jam session once. And it's like, what?
Yeah, it's because, he's in a band with
You're just saying this. You're just saying this.
You just say this, and it's normal.
The wife of one of the most influential musicians, maybe the most influential musician. Well, he was, at the very least, he was one of the
greatest.
One of the greatest.
One of the most famous of his time, especially.
Yes.
But the fact that guy...
Music as we know it would 100% not be the same without the Beatles.
And that guy's wife invited the dude who played weird songs about
this guy who made cat. This dude who made Jerry was a race car driver,
and he stands on the stage while they yell Primus sucks and throw mud at him, and then now he's going to Yoko Ono's house to play music with her.
That's wild.
That's insane.
That's wild.
And it's good. It's all good. Everything he does is good.
Sausage.
Sausage.
Is that an album?
It seems to be.
Right now I'm on his Les Claypool's Wikipedia page. Let's look at his bands. Formerly of Blind Illusion, Sausage, Colonel Les Claypool's Fearless Flying Frog Brigade,
What?
Colonel Claypool's Bucket of Bernie Brains.
He's so odd.
Claypool Lennon Delirium. Here we go.
It doesn't get less normal.
Do they have their own? I don't think they have their own Wikipedia page.
They're not crazy popular.
On their first tour, they switched out their keyboardist Money Mark of the Beastie Boys. What?
For Pete Dungy.
Who's that?
I don't know. They didn't give him a
Drungle.
Oh, Drungle.
Like
I can't see from here. Pete Drungle?
But they had Money Mark of the Beastie Boys? I didn't even know that. That's wild. But the Claypool Lennon Delirium is 100. If you like weird off the wall psychedelic rock, because it's psychedelic rock, but it's also goofy as hell. Like, they have a song called Amethyst Realm.
About a chick getting fucked by a ghost, right?
Chick getting fucked by a ghost, and it's written for the perspective of, like, who her boyfriend would be.
Yeah.
And he just talks about, how much he hates that he's been replaced by a ghost.
That's very strange.
It's strange shit.
How many drugs do you think were in the room when that song was written?
Too many.
Probably more than I know.
Enough to kill a normal human man.
Yeah.
Sean Lennon
He's so cute.
Is a pretty cute boy.
He
looks a lot like a thicker John Lennon with slightly Asian features.
Looks a little Yoko-ish.
As to be expected of someone who is the son of John Lennon and Yoko Ono.
He sounds normal.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any type of accent at all, which is strange considering he's,
the son of a Japanese American and an English American.
Yeah. He just sounds like a normal dude. His name's Sean.
Yeah, his name is Sean. He has no accent whatsoever. And he sings a lot like his dad.
He's kind of cute. I like him.
He's kind of cute. He was in a band with his wife called The Ghost of a Saber-Toothed Tiger. That's what he looked like. So he looked like in 98.
How old is he?
He's 47. He was born just before Lennon was assassinated.
Sad.
That is sad.
Imagine the jam session between...
Not only did he grow up probably in the shadow of his dad,
yeah,
but he didn't even get to know the guy.
You know how strange it would be if him and Les had a band, but John Lennon was still alive? The jam sessions between John Lennon and Les Claypool.
Oh my god, that'd be so weird!
John Lennon joined
John Lennon,
Primus.
it is no secret, John Lennon was a fucking a wackadoo.
Yeah, actually, it'd make more sense than
Crazy
Yoko
guy.
Ono making a song with him.
Yes it would.
Because Yoko was normal, and John was strange.
Yeah.
And he just took pictures with his dick out, and he walked outside and got shot. Yeah, it just happens sometimes. I think it was Paul McCartney. And I'm pretty sure Paul McCartney's a clone, just like Hillary Clinton is. Not gonna go beyond that.
Go back into the conspiracy corner.
Yeah, no one watched that episode anyway, so we might as well make it in this one.
That's what's silly to me. That's insane. The fucking the conspiracy video
had like 18 videos, and then there's like 87.
It's
on the aliens one.
I will tell you the views right now for episodes 3, episodes 3 and 4, and even though 3 is much longer. I mean, okay, let's look your videos.
I'm just happy that anyone watched any of them. Honestly,
yes, we're not we're not upset. I just don't understand.
It is strange.
So we have 8 views for the conspiracy episode. 84 views.
We have 14
for the alien episode.
14 for the most recent one that we had posted.
That's crazy to me too.
The first one was 17, but
that's crazy to me too. How it has 14 views and it's the longest one to date.
It's 2 hours long.
It's me talking the whole time and my throat's sore. But we still managed to get views out of it.
That one's a couple days old and it's 2 hours long. We already have 14 views.
Yeah.
It's strange considering we don't exactly have a fan base. But
yeah, not necessarily, not yet. But hopefully,
that's more views than I'd think a 2-hour video would get in a couple days for us.
I hope that people come for the alien episode and then they stay for the rest of it.
That'd be nice, yeah.
That would be nice because we have made the decision to stay away from the more conspiracy topics for a little bit, just so because those are the alien one seems to be the one that's blowing up. So we're trying to let you guys know.
Yeah.
That's not entirely what we're all about. I mean, it's still something that we're interested in. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if we revisited the topic a few times later on. But, like, that's not our primary function here.
Yeah, no, I mean, we have a lot of other things that we're interested in and passionate about and we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And that's also a fun thing to have.
Mm-hmm. For sure. You know, like this one, we're talking about music. And I'm happy that we've been able to maintain conversation as we have been.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where when we first started, we've always talked to each other, but recording a conversation and having to not have the crazy pauses that we normally have in conversation is weird. But as we've made a couple more and we kind of keep making them...
You go into the flow of it.
I'm getting more used to the flow of having to keep conversation rolling. You have to constantly be on your phone or online kind of seeing the next thing you're going to reference or on your notes for the next thing you're going to talk about, or, you know, it's not just going off the handle all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes you just hip fire when you're talking, but on occasion you do need a reference, something to bring up when someone's done talking.
New Wave. Oh, that's like the Talking Heads and shit.
Yeah, New Wave. I love the Talking Heads.
The Talking Heads are a wild... The Talking Heads are one of my favorite bands.
Very strange.
Very strange.
Very strange, but I like a lot.
Let's talk about the Talking Heads then, because I know a good bit about the Talking Heads. The Talking Heads, they were founded by. Let me actually get up their some.
It was founded by Dave Grohl.
Yes. The lead singer, his name is Dave. It's actually David
Mustaine.
Yes. It's all about the names,
the love child of Dave Grohl and Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
I'm watching a beaver carry a gourd and a carrot, and that's really funny to me.
He's going.
He's gonna get it up, but look at
that. Yeah.
He's
bipedal.
He's moving. I love
Walking
that.
Walking like a man.
I love it so much.
Alright, so
I'm dying, dude. This is the end.
The Talking Heads started as I think it was an experiment because there were four students. Yeah, here we are.
Rhode Island School of Design.
Students David Byrne, Chris Franz, Tina Weymouth. Let's see. I swear there's four of them.
Susie Quarto.
No, that's who they were listening to.
Susie
Quattro.
Susie Quattro.
It says they were listening to their albums. Franz encouraged Weymouth to learn to play the bass by listening to Susie Quattro albums.
Auditioned 3 times before she joined the band.
David Byrne he's the lead singer, and he's a very interesting, silly guy. If you have ever seen any of the Talking Heads music videos,
he's doing a funny little dance.
Especially Once in a Lifetime. Once in a Lifetime is a great song. I love Once in a Lifetime. And the whole music video is just him doing silly dances and movements in front of a green screen in a suit, and you could see the fucking beads of sweat rolling off of him. It's probably filmed in like a warehouse with shitty ventilation.
It's warm.
Oh, the LA Beast is gonna go drop trow.
Yeah,
he's taking the camera.
We're watching it. We're watching a man eat a pound or 5 pounds of sugar-free gummies, and then he's just...
Oh, no, he's not dropping trow.
He's spraying them out of his mouth. He's spraying the remainder of the gummy bears out.
Oh, no!
It was pretty quick at first. It just came out.
No!
There's no toilet paper in his roll.
Oh, yeah, 38 minutes later. Now it's time for him to drop trow.
Imagine the massive shit with no toilet paper, and he just wipes with the roll. Do the old hand wipe, you have to grab it and you have to slop it down into the toilet. You know?
He says, "I'm the LA Beast and I'm gonna wipe my ass with a cactus."
With like cat, and he grabs it. He's like, oh! He starts doing the robot. With the cat in his hand.
We'll do it. You know what? Fuck it. We'll do an LA Beast detour. We'll talk about the LA Beast for a minute.
I love the LA Beast.
We're already talking about him.
He's such a strange fella. He just puts himself through hell and eats things.
The LA Beast is such a character. He's such a nice guy.
It's such a niche thing to enjoy too. Like you have to be a certain kind of human being.
Look at him in his twin sides bed with his Batman pillowcase.
He's
his Captain America shield right beside.
And he's been laying there for an hour. and he's just waiting to shit. That's actually it.
He says, I am the LA Beast. I'm waiting to drop trow, unleash my massive deuce upon the world.
He seems like a type.
He's in the fetal position.
I bet he could destroy a bathroom, dude.
Oh, yeah, look at him. You better fucking pray that you don't go to the same restaurant as this guy. There's a tarantula in that little thing, by the way.
You saw his butt, dude. You saw his butt.
I didn't see his butt. I missed it.
I saw his butt.
The Kevmeister.
The Kevmeister's butt.
If you guys have not seen the LA Beast,
I thoroughly recommend
give him a try.
You watch
give him a go. The LA Beast.
Incredible.
He's one of the most purely entertaining characters I've ever seen.
It feels like Mount St. Helen just exploded from my butthole. Why?
Butt space hole.
Yeah, and then it was labeled the LA Beast. Who's this?
It's because he eats MREs.
No! Stop drinking Coke. You want a Sprite Cranberry?
There's a gay science man.
You want a Sprite Cranberry?
Twitter. He keeps talking.
Gay science man from Twitter?
Yeah. He did a video about the reptilians and how silly they are, and it's really funny.
No, don't say that with our fan base, dude.
Oh yeah.
We have a secret fan
base. The
base.
reptilians are real, guys. I promise. I know it. I've met a reptilian. He fucked me in the ass.
His name was Barack Obama, and
his name was Barack Obama, and he got me pregnant.
His wife had giant arms, and that's how we know that.
Go back to the Limburger cheese one. Well, he can't eat the whole bowl because his wife comes in. He's like, I'm getting married in 3 days. I'm gonna eat this bowl of Limburger mac and cheese. And before the end of the video, his like fiance comes in, and she's just like, in 3 days, my family is going to be here. They're gonna think that we don't wash. And so he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he stops eating and he throws it all away. Oh, this is that horrible Velma show.
I don't see what's wrong with it, man.
Norville.
Velma.
I guess.
Are we just gonna change Velma now?
Yeah.
Through the Black Mermaid! No!
Black Mermaid?
You remember whenever they turned Ariel?
Oh yes.
People were like, stop being a snowflake, but that mermaid.
I don't care that she's black.
Me either.
I care that her eyes are too far apart.
I don't care about any of it at all.
Have you seen what she looks like? She looks kind of goofy.
Yeah, she does look kind of goofy. But I mean, I don't know. I don't see the big deal between changing skin colors.
No,
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Literally doesn't matter. So long as you represent the character, you represent them well. That's all I care about.
They found one of those little portable. You know how they have that Mortal Kombat arcade machine, the little one that you hold?
Yeah.
I found one of those that had like Dig Dug and Galaga.
Oh shit!
But it was like $120, and it was at Target. And I could have gotten it, but I already spent like $200 on Kevin today, my guinea pig, trying to give him a nice little home. And but I really wanted to get it, and there was a Street Fighter 2 one, and it was really cool.
Yo, Street Fighter 2 is trash.
Dude, I'm gonna die on this podcast.
The one where Paco dies.
Ooh.
The stink lines. Dude, look at the color of it. It even looks stinky.
You ever had Limburger cheese?
No.
Me either.
Limburger cheeseburger Big Mac Whopper.
It's $12 a brick.
Says, I am the LA Beast. I spent $36 on mac and cheese.
Stink cheese.
I'm not going to be able to eat all the way.
Because my wife hates me.
My wife steps on my dreams of being the stinkiest man alive.
Yeah, she has hated Joy, and she's hated me. She hates Joy.
She hates prosperity with my YouTube channel.
She hates when I smile and make money. So I'm gonna marry her. I need to keep myself balanced so that I don't get too happy.
That's awful. The old ball and chain, as they call it.
Yeah, I can't escape because if I leave her, she'll hurt me.
So it's gonna hurt the LA Beast. This like 6'4".
She already steps on my balls.
260-pound man.
She already steps on my balls, but this time it will be out of nowhere. I'll have no idea it happened.
One of my favorite ones is, I think it's just called the LA Beast versus Science. That one's really good. And he just he puts Mentos in Coke and to stop it from getting everywhere. He puts his mouth up to it, and he's just thought it was an awful idea. I got it up my nose, and it's in my sinuses. My favorite parts of the race
is sticky on the inside.
I am the LA Beast, and I'm gonna drink a quart of sulfuric acid.
He goes, I can really feel it. Really feel it going down my throat.
And he does the robot.
He does the robot as his throat melts out. Yeah. You can see inside of him, and he's just doing the robot. His jaw's slopping off.
Oh! He says, "I'm not a pussy," and he finishes the rest.
He keeps going. He saves it for the next time, like the Crystal Pepsi. What does an acid shit feel like? It's just leaking out of his pelvis. He's like, so next time he's like eating an MRE and he washes it down with sulfuric acid.
Oh yeah, he also puts on muscle stimulators while he's eating Lillenburger mac and cheese. All I can think of is the Jackass one. In the first Jackass movie where
they put on his balls.
He says, "This one's the muscle stimulator." He says, "This goes on the gooch! This goes on the gooch!"
Do you imagine?
That was the first time I heard that.
Imagine your gooch muscles tensing up.
Ah!
Your ass just...
That's like whenever Mark and Ethan go to get birth simulated.
Your asshole gets dangerously close to your balls.
They come together. It's a singularity.
It never goes back.
If you use it too much, your butthole just goes on the bottom.
You like those hamsters that have such big balls that when they shit, their balls just get covered in shit, and they drag it around everywhere they go. I used to have one of those.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, their balls are so big that when they shit, it just stays sometimes. And you pick them up and you just get shit all over them, so they're rubbing their balls on you all the time.
All I can think of is, you know those hairless cats?
Yeah, I love them.
And if you have smooth reflective surfaces and they sit on them, you can see the little imprint of their balls. The little Bingus cats.
Bingus balls.
Bingus balls.
It just looks like
clickbait.
It looks like macaroni salad, and I'm realizing I can really fucking go for some macaroni salad.
He says, "Dear God, this smells like fucking hell. It smells like burning bodies of Auschwitz." So I've been there, guys. I know.
I escaped there. I ate my way out of the walls.
Hydra Himmler was in my way. I bit him in half. Never stood a chance, that guy.
I'm America's best hero.
Fuck Captain America.
Adolf Hitler didn't kill himself. I fucking ate him. And then I did the robot while I shit him out.
Spat a bullet at him, but it was enough to murder him.
I walked in with my Limburger mac and cheese. And I stank him to death.
Hitler said, "My God! Holy fucking shit!"
Yeah, and then he stopped breathing.
His head exploded.
And then he default danced, and then the robot on top of Hitler's dead body. Hitler's
hit
body.
The gritty.
The LA Beast does the gritty
as the United States forces come pouring into the bunker.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I like the idea of him being like, you know the old drawings, like the pictures of the firemen carrying like babies out of fires. It's just him carrying Jewish people out. Like he's the Jewish superhero.
He's got like Jewish people over his shoulder and shit under his arms. It's like
he's a protector. As he should
be. He's a protector.
As he should be. I mean,
I'm totally fine with this not being all about music. You know.
I mean, the LA Beast is for everyone, and
if the LA Beast made music, what do you think it would sound like?
Probably like the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, I can feel that.
It would just be kind of crazy.
I feel that.
Yeah, I think I'd like it.
I'd listen to the LA Beast if he dropped a fucking mixtape.
You listen to Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura's podcast, Two Bears, One Cave.
I've listened to bits and pieces.
Tom Segura got Bert for his birthday. He got him Hitler's teacup.
No way.
A teacup.
The real teacup.
Okay, so this lady was Hitler would always go to this woman's husband's house essentially because he was the mechanic and the engineer who did all the blueprints for Hitler's buildings.
Oh, okay.
And so he'd go there, and the guy's wife would bring Hitler out tea.
I got
in the same cup every time. And so when that woman passed, it was sold. And then Tom Segura went like black market to find this thing, paid a lot of money, and he got it. and Bert freaked the fuck out. He was like, I have the Fuhrer's teacup. And he was like, I have to get rid of it, right? And Tom's like, no, I paid so much money for that.
I remember.
He's like, I have to destroy it.
I remember whenever they started that. I remember watching the first episode or two, but I haven't watched since because I just have.
They're funny guys.
I like Steve-O's podcast a lot.
Yeah, Steve-O's podcast.
Steve-O is such a fucking goofy guy. Oh my god.
I watch a lot of the Distractable.
Crush beef.
Crush beef.
That's such a fucking silly phrase with that gremlin voice of his. And he just says crush beef, and it's the goofiest shit. I always quote that amongst my friends.
Crush beef.
Yeah, it's like dude, crush.
just the crush.
Because he is whenever he was on the episode of Guest Grumps. That's what he tells Dan to do. He urges Dan to go pursue the lady that he wants. He says, "Dude, crush."
Crush.
And then on the podcast, he says it on the Poopies episode. He says,
"Crush beef."
I love him.
Stop me from crushing beef.
He was like Vader. He looks like Vader. He's doing the Vader V.
The Vader V. I haven't thought about Vader in so long.
Is this the wrestling episode?
Is this the wrestling episode,
the
guys?
The next episode could be the wrestling episode.
Yeah!
Why not? Tomorrow you'll do a wrestling episode.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for.
Do a little research and do a little wrestling episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about our favorites.
I haven't watched in a while, but I mean, of course, I have a very solid knowledge.
It'll be really easy.
Wrestling.
Even beforehand, we could hang out and watch some clips.
Sure. Yeah,
catch ourselves up.
I have a couple YouTubers I watch that do like top 10 videos of it, so we can see like great moments and stupid storylines.
Watch
stupid
some fucking
characters.
What Culture, bro.
Absolutely, I still watch them.
Holy shit, I haven't watched them in years.
They're great. They have some different guys in there, but I like them a lot. Yeah, but that was fun.
I'm Simon from What Culture.
Oh, dude, they still have Simon now.
Oh shit.
Sure.
He looks kind of like well, who's he remind me of? He reminds me of someone.
What's he look like?
Simon from What Culture?
Yeah, this is a quiz. What does he look like?
He's the bald guy.
Yeah, he's the big bald one. He's really muscular.
Yeah.
He's a wrestler.
He is?
Not like I don't think he's like professional, but he does wrestle.
That's
like,
cool.
Amateur circuit. But yeah, he's still there. And I like him a lot. Because they added a couple other fellas.
My brain keeps telling me, oh, he reminds you of Andrew Tate.
He does.
He does kind of, in the vaguest of sense, in that he is a bald white dude.
Yeah, and all the trafficking. But he's built as shit. He's huge. I've been watching a lot of Theo Von things. There's a Theo Von special on Netflix I'm going to have to watch soon.
I wonder if Theo Von has been on Steve-O's podcast.
He has to have been.
He has to have been,
but,
right?
Dude, Theo Von is so funny.
Let me look it up.
Theo Von's so funny.
Steve-O's podcast is really funny. Anytime he gets sponsored by Blue Chew a lot, I'm assuming just because of his age. But he gets literally every episode is like sponsored by Blue Chew.
Blue Chew?
Yeah, he's like,
dude, anytime I want to get an epic boner, let me tell you, Blue Chew does the job.
Epic boner so you can crush beef?
Yeah.
Anytime I need to lay down the pipe and crush some beef.
Steve-O, Crush Bevo.
Steve Crush Beef.
Steve Crush!
Steve Crush Beef! Steve Crush Beef!
It's like that's what they're chanting at him to do.
And he's like, ah! And on stage he fucks somebody.
Fuck!
He ruins the sanctity of his marriage live on stage.
Yeah, we might as well just
such a Steve-O move.
He might as well just relapse while he's at it. He's crushing beef with Narcan.
We'll have a little aside here where we talk about whenever we heard Jackass Forever was coming out, we had a bunch of different ideas for horrible, dumb bits that wouldn't make the cut, and one of them was Steve-O relapsing. Either them getting him to do it, or them like blackmailing him into doing it.
Like everyone's screaming, laughing, like rolling on the floor, and
Hi, I'm Steve-O, and this is the relapse.
And Steve-O's laying on the floor, surrounded by Narcan, like cans of Narcan,
yeah,
just sobbing.
The joke was he does like one hit, and then he's addicted again.
He just can't stop.
And he's just like sobbing, and he can't stop, and then everyone around him is just like pointing at him and screaming, laughing, tears rolling down their face,
rolling on the ground. Like Bam's laughing as hard as he can. His eyes are bulging out of his head, and Steve-O's crying.
It's so awful.
Steve-O's crying. More Narcans. More.
Please stop me.
Stop!
They make Steve-O relapse for views.
They throw him in an alligator pit on Narcan.
Steve-O, you have to make it out.
Steve-O, you have to survive. He's like, ah! And they're like tearing his arms off.
Oh, no.
Like,
Theo Von has not been on. Bobby Lee has been.
Bobby Lee's funny
Joey
shit.
Diaz has been.
Dude, Uncle Joey's been on there.
Steve-O.
Brennan Schaub.
Let me tell you, you cocksucker.
Brennan Schaub was in the NFL and he's in the UFC.
Hey, Brennan Schaub. He's on one of my favorite clips from.
I don't think he's that funny.
No, he's on one of my favorite clips from the JRE though.
What? Oh, isn't he? He's in the gorilla. He's in the apes episode.
I got molested. Get out of here!
No way,
It was
dude.
incredible.
You suck your dick? No, you got close.
It was hard.
It was incredible.
There's this YouTube channel called Ping Trip that has just the fucking most hilarious edits of Joe Rogan podcast episodes, and that is by far my favorite. It's let me see if I can find what it's called. Ping Trip, Joe Rogan.
Dude, I really want a high C like fruit juice. They make good juice, and I want a juicy.
Here it is. Joe Rogan becomes an 800-pound gorilla with Brendan Schaub and Brian Collin.
Brian Callen's funny. Joe Rogan is the podcast with
It's the
Alex
podcast
Jones.
killer with Alex Jones. I remember back whenever they had Alex Jones on, that one was hilarious.
You should. I really urge you to watch clips of Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz on Alex Jones's podcast.
Tom Segura.
But dude, it's so funny because Alex Jones has to be the voice of reason, and he can't get Joey to stop. Joey's just freaking the fuck.
You showed me bits and pieces.
You need to watch this because it is so good. Anything with Joey in it, he's just so strange and he's insane. He's so funny.
But yeah, I highly encourage you all at home to listen to Joe Rogan Becomes an 800-Pound Gorilla on YouTube.
It's very funny.
It is one of the funniest things like I have ever heard, probably.
I like his COVID one.
Oh, the Joe Rona experience?
Yeah, Joe
That's
Rona
a different
experience.
one. That's a different guy.
Well, I was mostly referring to Joe Rogan's, just as Joe Rogan's things.
Ivermectin.
Cooking oil.
Cooking oil made from sewage. Shit water.
I feel pretty good.
White rice. It's called the Joe Rona experience. No, Joe Rona. Joe Rona! Here it is. It's from James Lee, who is a very funny YouTuber in his own right.
Rona,
he does
Rogan
like
gets the Rona and they want him dead! ! Question mark.
Oh no! This must be like. Look at this sad man.
This goober, this absolute nerd.
He's just got like a bunch of comic books and shit in the background.
I do like Joe Rogan's podcast.
Joe Rogan.
All I can think of is fucking Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz is
saying
hilarious.
his name.
I want to watch some of his stand-up. Joey's one of the funniest men alive.
Joey Diaz is. I think it's not even like entirely the bit. It's just like how he reacts.
Yeah.
Almost in the similar vein as Theo Von.
Yeah, we're just like
Theo Von is just like another level.
Theo Von just says things that don't exist.
Some of them are medals. Some of them are well.
Some of them are medals. Most of them are medals. Some of them are well.
It's like, what are you saying?
They can blow leche out their dome.
He talks about pulling off to the side in a tunnel, taking a shit in a frisbee. He's like, if you look at a frisbee and you look at a toilet, it's like the same shape. It's like, no! What are you talking about? You're fucking crazy!
The best thing is there's a UFC fighter.
He goes into detail about like the people passing by and how like the white people on their way to work are just like so upset watching him deuce in his car. And the black people are just like, yeah, all right. It's like, Theo, why are you observing this? How many times have you shot in a frisbee in your car to know this information? To know how people are going to react? Oh, shit.
Oh, dude. There's this dude in the UFC named Bryce Mitchell that I think looks a lot like Theo Vaughn, and I don't know where to find the pic.
Theo Vaughn, bro.
But looking at his face, he reminds me of Theo Vaughn, and he sounds like him too. Look at his face and think of Theo Vaughn. There's just something about him that reminds me of Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, kind of.
If you hear him
stop
talk,
him all on that.
If you hear him talk, he sounds a lot like Theo Vaughn.
That's another thing about Theo Vaughn too. He's got like the ignorant sort of like redneck sound to his voice, and I think that adds a whole layer of charm.
I think it's just that he doesn't understand. I think that's most of what he is that he doesn't understand.
He's such a silly, goofy guy.
He went to college.
You know?
Yeah, he went to college.
He went to college?
Yeah. College of Charleston, Louisiana State. He's 6 foot tall, he's 42 years old. His full name is Theodore Capitani von Kernatowski III. His name is Theodore Capitani von Kernatowski III.
The third.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you fucking me right now?
Look at that. That's his actual name. That's Theo Vaughn's full name.
Wow.
What? Where's he from? Los Angeles. He lived in Louisiana.
Los Angeles.
And there he is, Joey Diaz. This man.
Cocksucker Joe Rogan.
He's so handsome. He looks like a Muppet.
He does. He doesn't look like a real human.
He's 59.
It's insane.
Joey Coco Diaz. Jose Antonio Diaz.
Anyways.
Is Joey Diaz in The Sopranos? He portrayed Buddha Pen Bon Pensiro in The Sopranos prequel.
Is it Tony Soprano? You cocksucker.
You cocksucker. He calls him his full name.
Cocksucker.
Yeah, you cocksucker. Are you listening here, cocksucker?
You listen here, cocksucker.
Well, I think that we'll bring this here episode to a close.
Sounds.
It's been another good one.
Yeah, it's been. We really went off topic, but it was a fun one for sure.
It was I feel like a lot of fun. I don't. We've talked about this before, but I definitely feel like it's more acceptable to go off topic than to force staying on topic.
Yeah, I mean, naturally flowing conversation is fun.
Yeah. We talked about. I think we deviated into podcasting and comedy a little bit earlier on, and then we went back to it.
You know, Ashton Kutcher's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
What?
Yeah. Tom Hardy's a blue belt. Joe Rogan's a black belt.
Dude, Tom Hardy kicks ass.
Yeah.
I remember he won a tournament.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He won like
Tom Hardy is. Do you know he's also like really short? Tom Hardy's only like 5'9".
Keanu Reeves does jiu-jitsu.
Keanu Reeves is crazy. Keanu Reeves, like all the training he does in like the John Wick movies, he can actually do that. That's none of that is like stunt people. It's like he went through the fucking ringer to get all the skills down for this role.
Paul Walker's a black belt.
I think another thing though is that Keanu Reeves, before even John Wick, he had a history in martial arts. I think he credits The Matrix as like starting his love for it because he had to do some training for that. But yeah, so we'll call it for this one, and I said that like really fruity.
Yeah.
Call it for this one.
We'll call it for this one.
I can say that, guys. Okay.
He kisses men.
Here's the secret. Here's my secret, guys. I'm bisexual.
Yeah, whoa. He's a bit fruity.
I'm a bit fruity. Fruity.
You know Nicolas Cage is a
paperback novel.
Nicolas Cage trains Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Royce Gracie.
What?
That's fucking wild.
But yeah, so that's it for this one, guys. I love you.
Elvis was a black belt.
No, that can't be.
But it doesn't say of Jiu-Jitsu.
Elvis
It just says black belt.
He
That's it.
he sent a letter to President Nixon asking to be made a federal agent. But we can talk about that next episode.
Chuck Norris is a black belt in Tang Soo Do, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Judo.
Dude, Chuck Norris is crazy.
That's fucking
He's
crazy.
insane. He's like 75. And he doesn't look a day over like 50.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't think would be a compliment, but to someone who is like pushing 80,
Yeah.
yes, that's a compliment. Alright.
Alright.
Bye, love
I
you.
love you. Bye.
See you tomorrow. Or I guess in your case, in 2
It'll be
days.
a couple days.